समय होगा।
Well, what we're getting to know as far as government's preparedness is concerned, there is a high-level meeting of the inter-ministerial group of secretaries, and we are looking at the departments that they are working in as far as this appeal over the Middle Eastern crisis that the Prime Minister has made. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh is expected to preside over this meeting, and this is the inter-ministerial group of ministers. That meeting is scheduled to happen at around 10:30 this morning. And following the appeal coming in from the Prime Minister, this meeting is going to be chaired by the Raksha Mantri himself. And what is being said that all of the secretaries regarding from all relevant ministries will be briefing the ministers on the current situation and the implications as well, because this is something that the Prime Minister has now referred, especially when it comes to the disruptions that has been caused because of the ongoing global crisis. And the Prime Minister says that rising prices of petrol, diesel and fertilizers have increased pressures on economies worldwide. Meanwhile, he's emphasized when it comes to government's multi-pronged energy strategy as well. Let's in the meantime go across to Mohit on this. So Mohit, good morning. 10:30 we are told that this meeting has been scheduled. The government's preparedness and how long as far as this pressure that has been building up, because yes, the nation was united during COVID. That was a pandemic. It was a health crisis. The nation, once again, the Prime Minister is seeking to them be united at the time when the country is facing economic crisis.
Well, Amita, an important appeal has come from the Prime Minister. Now, the Prime Minister has clearly urged the citizen that being faithful to the nation does not only mean that you need to sacrifice your life, but also to fulfill your duties towards the nation. And hence, Prime Minister urged the citizen to ensure that they use fuel judiciously and they should not go for overbuying of the gold items, because given the fact that how India imports gold and foreign exchange is being used in that, and at this particular time, foreign exchange is very, very important for the country amidst the evolving West Asia crisis. Now, as you were rightly pointing out, a group of ministers will meet today at 10:30. Now, this group of ministers was constituted in March 2026 to oversee the developments in the country with regards to the West Asia crisis. Now, in this particular group of ministers, we have top ministers like Rajnath Singh, who usually chairs the meeting, Home Minister Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, and Petroleum and Energy Minister Hardeep Singh Puri. So this meeting will happen at 10:30. All the relevant department secretaries will be giving a presentation and details of what exactly is the situation regarding their ministries and what exactly where exactly India stands when it comes to West Asia crisis and tackling that. But yes, a very important message has come from the Prime Minister that we all need to understand our duties. We need to go for use of metros. We need to go for carpooling. Ensure that energy is safe. Also, Prime Minister said that do not go for unnecessary foreign travel. In fact,
I think we're going to take that through one by one on all the 9 appeals that has been made by the Prime Minister, because this is so far a call for patriotism and putting the nation first. Rashtra Sarvopari is something which the Prime Minister has made as far as his appeal is concerned. As Mohit continues to be with us, we'll take you through the Prime Minister's appeals coming in one by one, because the country that has been grappling with an energy crunch that has been triggered by the ongoing US-Iran war. Yes, there is a ceasefire in place, but so is the naval blockade and the blocked Strait of Hormuz, which has disrupted when it comes to global oil supplies. Now, in the meantime, let's take a look one by one on the suggestions that have been made by the Prime Minister. During the energy crisis, he is now appealed to the countrymen that use petrol and diesel sparingly. Use your discretion. And this word of caution that is now coming in from the Prime Minister, especially when it comes to the use of edible oil, cooking oil. This is something which he has made in the past as well. Of course, there is economic crisis, but owing to your health as well, the Prime Minister has asked to use edible oil sparingly. Then, of course, when it comes to much dependent on public transport, if there is metro, if there are buses there, please use them. Avoid when it comes to private travel as far as your vehicles is concerned. Use EVs as much as possible. Use, carpooling. And of course, when it comes to the employers there, they have now been given the suggestion that ask your employees to work from home if it is possible. If there is a remote job, yes. But if there is a possibility to work from home, take that option. Saving on foreign exchange is something which the Prime Minister has also appealed. Postponing when it comes to traveling abroad, destination weddings. This is something that the Prime Minister has also said that at least for 1 year, do not buy gold. And that seems to be the appeal that is coming from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's take a look as far as the impact here is concerned. Markets also opening up in just a bit. Ashesha is joining us right now. Ashesha, good morning. What are we now looking at? Because it's been over 2.5 months. Approximately 2.5 months as far as this global crisis is concerned. Yes, there is a ceasefire, but the volatility, the uncertainty and the instability continues.
Well, yes, crude oil prices continue to remain elevated, and that is the reason Prime Minister Narendra Modi has come ahead and urged citizens to perhaps resort to lower consumption of fuel. Although retail fuel prices have not taken a hit so far, oil marketing companies have been absorbing the brunt of higher Brent crude prices in the global market, with Brent crude still sustaining above $100 per barrel. Now, remember, before the war started, Brent crude was trading at about $65–70 per barrel. So since then, Brent crude prices have shot up nearly 40 to 45%. In fact, at one point in time, we had Brent, which had touched 120, 125. It has cooled off from those levels, but despite that, continues to remain at elevated levels, and that clearly is a concern for countries like India, which rely heavily on imported oil. And that is the reason Prime Minister Modi has perhaps urged citizens to go ahead and reduce consumption of both petrol and diesel in various forms he has mentioned in his speech yesterday. But yes, higher import of oil for countries like India continue to be a concern, and that is the reason we have seen this kind of a reaction on Indian equity markets as well. Subdued performance over the last few months. In fact, GIFT Nifty is suggesting a decline in today's trading session as well on account of surge in crude oil prices yet again today morning. So that clearly is a concern that continues to weigh heavy on Indian equity markets and the economy as well.
All right, Ashesha, thank you very much for joining us. Of course, we are awaiting as far as the markets that open up, how we're going to look at. There has been also a decline as far as foreign exchange, reserves are also concerned, and this seems to be an appeal that is coming in, timely appeal that is coming in from the Prime Minister himself. Ashesha, thank you very much for the moment.